Good morning. All right, so here we are again, as per usual. And before we get started with the makeup that I'm going to do today, in my last video that I took, I told you that I would let you know how it went at the doctor's. So I went to the doctor, and basically what she told me is that my triglycerides were a little high, my cholesterol was a little high, which I expected because it does run in my family, and heart disease runs in my family, so it wasn't a huge surprise for me. And she did give me some dietary changes to make. I wasn't bad enough to go on a statin yet. That's probably in my future, and I'm okay with that. Anything to keep the old heart going. But the changes that she asked me to make were not too drastic. It's just a matter of doing low fat and low cholesterol. It'll be all right. And so it was kind of good knowing right where my numbers were so that I can keep an eye on it. And in 3 months, I'm going to go back and she'll do the blood test again and do some other things. And mostly it's just a blood test. And we will see where I'm at. And hopefully by that point, I will have brought my numbers down. And we'll see what we need to do then. I'm adjusting my screen so we can see a little bit better. And so that's how that went, and now I'm like, oh, okay, it's nothing that is too terribly bad. The one thing that she said that I needed to definitely give up is sugar, so I'm researching stevia. I've used Truvia before, which is like the brand name. It comes in a green and white box, and I like that product pretty well. But I'm not sure about the ingredients there, so I'm going to do a little more research. Stevia is from a stevia plant, and it's a sweetener, so I can still have, I've got itchy face today, I don't know why, I think it's allergies. Stevia is from a stevia leaf, it's a sweetener, it's not sugar, it's not cane sugar, it's not processed sugar. That's what I have to stay away from now, and I also have to stay away from processed meats like bacon, pretty much bacon, ham, pork of any kind, and red meat. So I'll be doing turkey and chicken, low fat, lean meats. Also fish. So I can do all that. It's not going to be that big a deal, and I feel pretty good about it. This morning, I got up and did a different kind of run this morning. Apparently there's 3 kinds of runs, which I didn't know. I'm still learning. And the first one is called the distance run, where you run a long way, or it's a long run. The second one is a time. That's where you do a shorter run, but you pick up your pace. And the third one is a tempo run, which is basically the pace that you would use if you were running a race. This morning, I did a time one. So I picked up my pace quite a bit and did a shorter run, which was hard, but it felt good. So I feel good. So I've already taken care of my body. Did a little praying this morning, so I've done some spirit work, which I have a little more to do later. And I'll take care of my mind. I haven't been writing like I said I was going to, and that kind of disappoints me. So I plan on doing some probably this weekend when my husband's out of town, because I won't have that distraction. He's a wonderful distraction, but a distraction nonetheless. And also, I watched a video of these ladies that are doing a particular line of makeup, and they have a technique that I want to show you today that's new and different. And we're going to try it, see if we like it. If we like it, great. If we don't, or, whatever, we'll just figure that out. So far this morning, I've gotten up and did my run. I took my shower, washed and dried my hair, and I put on my moisturizer already, my oil of Olay, and I put the depuff on this morning as well. And I've already gone ahead and put my primer on just to kind of speed things along a little bit. You don't need to see me putting on moisturizer and all that stuff every single day. That's why I did it all already. And also, I wanted the primer to have a little more time to set on my face. Yesterday with the eyeshadow that I was using, I felt like I did not give it enough time to do that, and it made it a little difficult to work with, along with other things. I mean, if you looked at the other video, you know what happened. You know what happened. All right, so let's get into it today. I've already put on my primer, as I said, So I'm just going to use my glasses as a headband so we can see what's going on. And we're going to start, obviously, with concealer. This is the True Match concealer that I use all the time. I'm going to go right down my broad nose, just like so. We're going to go on my eyes, and I'm just doing a little today. Today's plan includes, and I forgot to do my upper lip yesterday. I don't know if you noticed. Today's plan includes taking my daughter's car to the garage to have new tires put on it. Isn't that exciting? And now I'll use my darker stuff to cover the side of my nose over here. And over here. I'm gonna put a little darker right here too. And on my scars. If you don't know what my scars are about, then you need to watch like my first video that I did. It's where I have a towel on my head, so it looks kind of funny. And you can find out what those scars are about. It's not that big a deal. And then I forgot to put lighter up on here, so we're going to do that. And guess what I forgot to get again? I forgot to get a sponge because I'm still new to the sponge game. So give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Got my little sponge, got it wet already, so now I'm just ready to dab all of this concealer in. So I'm going to do that right now. And I'm using my mirror over here, but I've decided instead of doing the close-ups so I can see close in, because some things I'm going to need that for, but like this is pretty basic, so I can use it far away, so I'm not like leaning in so far that you can see the side of my face so much. So I'm just dabbing this in and just giving it, you know, smoothing it out and, you know, blending it. That's what the word is, blending, you know, my favorite word. Gotta blend this in. My dog Lucy back there is growling at Bumster because she's feeling grumpy today. Lucy, quit. And he's down there moving, so she feels upset. Are you all right? She's all right. She's just feeling. I'm going to get my upper lip today, which I forgot to do yesterday, surprisingly. And I'm going to change my routine just a little bit because I'm going to see how it does. And so that's what you do. You change and rearrange. That's a good thing to do. So we look really blended in, maybe a little bit here by my eye. I'm okay with that. That's looking pretty good. You know, you just want to, you know, the whole idea behind concealer is to conceal things. So you don't want to put on so much that you see your concealer. That's kind of silly, right? All right. That is going to do. So goodbye, sponge. That's one of the ones I cut up. If you don't know what that means, then go look at my other videos. I have my concealer on now, and like I said, I'm going to change my routine a little bit because I want to show you what this other company is doing to teach people how to do makeup. The company is called Lime Life by Alcove, and their products are what they call wax-based. And I wasn't able to get on their website to see an ingredient list, but I didn't really look very hard, so it's probably there. But to me, the words wax-based concern me a little bit, and I probably need to do some more research about it, just because wax is a very thick product, and it could, in my head, would clog your pores, which is not a good thing. Also, the fact that it's wax and your body is warm and we live in a warm climate, I'm not sure how that would work out. I may at some point give them a shot. I'm kind of feeling like I might not because it's expensive. They have a couple of things like, you know, the little Aurora eyeliner that I use. This sells from Ipsy for, I think it's $12. Well, their thing like this is $25. And I'm like, $25 for that's a lot to me. So I don't know that I'll try it just because of the expense. I'm cheap. I like cheap beauty. But here's something that they do to teach people how to put their brows on. So I'm going to do my brows first today, which is very different than what I usually do. I usually put on powder at this point, and I'm going to change that up a little bit too, and I'll tell you why in a bit. All right, so what they teach their clients or people to do, they're called beauty consultants or beauty somethings, I don't know, is they teach their people that, just like I've said before, that the eyebrows start right here, right where the, where your bridge of your nose and on each side. And so what they do to help people make their eyebrows symmetrical is they do this very strange looking thing that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to use the darker powder. I don't want to use a pencil or anything like that. Well, we're just going to see how this goes. I'm going to use the darker powder first, which means I'll have to clean it before I put my actual. And so what they teach their people is you want to start where the hairs of your, eyebrows start, and you make a little mark, and you go across the bridge of your nose like this, and it's kind of in a little arch, kind of like this. Don't worry that it's not like perfect. So what they're telling you, or what they're teaching you, is to start your brows at the same point, which I can go along with that. And then what they do is they teach you that you want to do the top of your brow, like it's going to start over here, right about that point. And this is essentially giving you guidelines about where to put your eyebrows so that they're the same on each side. And what they do is they go ahead and fill this whole section in, which I'm going to do just because I want you to see the whole effect. It's kind of strange. So essentially they give themselves, they even call it a uni or a unibrow. And they make this stripe across their nose like so. And like I said, this is just a technique that you can try. And if you're a first time brow person, this might be a technique that you use. And so they do this little thing in the middle, and then they do, and I'm going to actually use the darker color today for my brows just because. Then you start here and you go and you do your arch like this, right? So you do the top of your arch first on both sides. Top of your arch like this first. And then what you do is you take, so see where you've got this colored in part right here? You're going to start here with your eyebrow, and you're going to make it almost the same thickness as this whole section right here. Okay? So you just fill that in like so. And you kind of go up on your arch like that. Oh my goodness, Lucy. And so you just fill in your brows like this and so. And so I can see, when I first started watching their videos, I kept popping up the videos and they all look just like this, and I was like, what in the actual is going on? Because that looks, what are we doing here, folks? And I need to put a little bit more over here, I think. And so that's what they teach you to do. Now, obviously, you're not going to leave this big patch here because that's insane and crazy looking. And, if you watch all their videos, what they do later is they take a product and they fill it in. For me, that doesn't work because you're putting on something on top of something, and I feel like it's just a little bit, I don't know. So theoretically, this will help you get a more evenly symmetrical eyebrow shape. Now, this is the very first time I've done it, so I'm seeing things that I'm like, I'm not so sure about that. But here's what we're going to do, because I am not following their thing where I put something on top of that. I'm going to use a little micellar water, and I'm going to take off the unibrow because, let's face it, that's just really super ugly. And in their videos, they do like their whole eye thing. They have like, it literally looks like a mask of makeup. And then they cover this all up or whatever. And for me, I don't like that. I think it looks, I don't know, maybe the person I was watching just didn't blend well or something like that, or she didn't do something right. But I just didn't feel like it was cute. And I'm going to get this out of my wrinkle right here, because you know. And so there's my eyebrows. So I will say this. The symmetry is a lot better, I feel like. And of course, if you make a mistake like I just did over here, you can always fix it with your micellar water. So the symmetry looks pretty good, and the brow shape looks pretty good. But that whole unibrow thing, I'm not sure that you actually need that. I feel like that you could take your makeup brush like this, or a makeup brush. Let's take a different one. And you could put it across here, and you would be like, oh, my eyebrow needs to start here and here and here and here, and then you could work that way without adding all of that stuff in between your eyes. That's just my personal feeling. So there's two ways that you can do that. That first way where they show you in that video, I would suggest that you go check out their videos, because you might like something, and then, you know, keep your option open. So, but you see what I'm saying? I feel like you could go right here and do the same thing, you know, do the bottoms, right? And then do, you know, go right here and do the tops. And I think you would be all right without doing that whole thing. So I suppose what I should say is, if you are a beginner eyebrow person, then doing that technique would be a place to start. You just have to try things. And like I said, when I saw the first video, the videos of them doing it, I was like, what is all that craziness? And they're like, don't worry, it doesn't stay, blah, blah, blah. But they do like their whole face, and then they take it off. And I'm like, no, I got to get that off right away, because that is UGLY. So there's my eyebrows for today. I'm pretty happy with those. I think they'll be fine. Just throwing my micellar thing away. All right, the next thing I want to do today is we're going to do, so remember that crazy color that I had in the palette yesterday? This crazy color that this palette calls the base. And I put it on, and I just hated it, and I took it off or whatever. So I'm actually going to use that color today, but I'm going to use it in a different way. I'm going to use it on my lid. And I'm going to use only 2 colors today, because I think I want it just a little bit more naturally looking, and I want it to be not quite so dramatic, and I don't feel the need to cut in today. So what I'm going to use today, this is my Maybelline Expert Eyes, and I'm going to use this color right here. Let's see if I can get it right. Yeah, this color, I'm going to get in close so you can see the actual color, as like my whole entire base color. And it's a little bit darker brown, but, you know, I just like this. Oh, and I washed my brushes the other day, and then I did something, I did something bad. I don't know if you caught it yesterday, but I used a brush that I didn't clean off before I put in a different color, which I don't like to do just because it mutes the colors or whatever. But anyhow, so there's my base color. And obviously I'm just blocking it on. You know what I'm going to do later. You know what I'm going to do. So I'm just putting this on. So the elections were yesterday, and I hope you went and voted. It seems like a lot of people voted early this year, which is awesome. And a lot more people turned out for the votes this year, which is awesome. So I'm really happy about that. Some of the races went my way, and some of them didn't. Such is life. And the ones that didn't, I'm going to be okay about, because you know what? I figure we're all Americans. At the end of the day, we need to act like Americans and go, you know what? We have work to do. Let's get over this crying business and just work. All right, so I put my base color on, and now I'm going to use that crazy cuckoo color for my lid. First, let me get that. I have a little tissue down here. I'm getting this color off on. All right, so that's that. And now I'm going to use that crazy color, this orangey color, and I'm going to go right on my lid with it. And it's a little shimmery, which I kind of like. But you can see I like this combination a little bit better, because this color is really intense. It's deeply pigmented. So sometimes I feel like if you have a deeply pigmented color, you can mute them by using colors that are not, this one's very shimmery. You can use it on with a color that is not shimmery at all, and they'll be just fine. So let's see. I like that really well today. And so we put our eyeshadow on. So of course, our blending brush, you have to blend. See, look, you know, if you don't blend it, you look crazy. It's not good. And so the other company that does the other makeups, one thing that I noticed on some of their videos is the makeup doesn't seem to blend well. And so for me, the eyeshadows that they use are like deeply pigmented, and they're very much like stick on your face, and they don't seem to blend well. So I'm not sure. I shouldn't say something about a product that I haven't tried before, but it just seems, if you watch their videos, it seems like their makeup is much more dramatic, a more dramatic look like I had yesterday, and I'm not sure I would use that for every day. But I'm sure they have colors that you can choose that are a more natural look. And look how nicely that blended. That did really well. Kind of digging my eyebrows using that technique. So maybe I'll use the other technique where I just take the brush and use it as a guide tomorrow. We'll see how we do. Alright, that's looking pretty good. There's a funny shadow right here, so I think there's eyeshadow there, but it's so when I go like this, you can kind of see it, but when I go like this, you can see there's nothing there. It's just a shadow. Let's go over here a little bit. You know what I say, blend until you think you've blended enough, and then blend some more. So we're going to do that. Alright, I like that. That looks nice. And now I'm going to put on my eyeliner, because I like to wear eyeliner every day. I just think it makes your eyes pop. And I'm going to try something new for tomorrow, so make sure you look at the video tomorrow. I'm going to put this on really quick, and because I'm using I have a big mirror over here that's closer, but I don't have it on the close-up side. I can see well enough to do this without just showing you the side of my face and looking crazy. I'm learning, folks. We're all in this together, and we're all learning. So that's a good thing. So again, I go across the whole bottom and just the outside corner to my iris on the top. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. I know I've said this before, but some people, this might be the first time they've seen this. And I'll explain why again, because again, you never know who might watch this. Alright, so I go all the way across the bottom of my eye, and then just on the corner to where the iris starts. This looks a little funny, so I'm going to fix that. Alright. Okay. So there we have my eyes done, except for my mascara, which I will do last. The next thing I'm going to put on is my blush, and today I've chosen the really soft pink. This is True Match by L'Oreal, and this one is called Innocent Flush. It's this color. It's a shimmery pink, which like I said, I'm doing a little bit more natural look today, so I'm going to use this naturally pinky blush color, and it's very subtle, and it's kind of, I don't know, I call it subtle and sweet because it just looks, you know, it's pink blush. It's not, I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words today. Surprise. And then I'm going to take my kabuki brush and go ahead and do my actual face powder. So I want to talk to you about between my moisturizer and my primer and this powder, what I have on my face as far as sun protection is, let's see, there's 15 plus 34 plus, I think this one is 15. It's 15. So I've got about 45, give or take, on my face for sun protection, which I like because, you know, the sun will damage your skin. It's not good. You'll have sun damage. You'll have sunspots. You'll look older. It'll wrinkle your face. This is just not good. And so I'm just going over with my kabuki brush, and I'm going to actually go over my eyes just to kind of set that. And there we go. This looks pretty good. I think I want to put just a little bit more of that cheek color on, because when I put my face powder on, it really muted it a little more than what I want. I mean, I want to still be able to see it, so I'm just doing that. That's a little bit better. You know, just enough to give it a little bit of something going on there. And because I did my face powder last, instead of, usually I put my face powder on, then I do the rest of my MAC, and then I do another layer. So I started thinking about that, and I felt like that was too much powder on my face, and so it was beginning to look cakey and weird. So I thought, well, I'll just change the routine and do the powder at the very end, so I'm only putting one coat on, and then that'll be that. So here we are, and then last but not least, well, actually we're not last yet, I'm going to put on this mascara that I like. Alright, and I can do that with my big mirror, so I'm not leaning in, and so that you see a really severe close-up of my face. Alright, I'm just going along. I do that little squiggle move that gets right at the root. And I forgot to warm this again. It really comes out a lot better if you warm it. You know, like I showed a technique the other day where I had it down my shirt and between, you know, so that my body heat could warm it, but you can always warm it in a warm cup of water. And what that does, it just loosens it up in the tube a little bit better, and so it just comes out smoother. But I forgot to do that. Also, if you're sitting down, you know, if you cross your legs, you can just put it between your legs there and warm it with your body that way. There's no, you know, there's multiple ways. Alright. I like this look today. I like this orangey eyeshadow as a base color, or I mean as a lid color, a lot better than I did yesterday. That's for sure. Yesterday was like cuckoo crazy. And as I said before, a natural look will look good in all kinds of light. So bright sunlight, muted light, yellow light. Oh wow. Okay, so look what just happened, folks. Dun dun dun. Oh no. What do we do? Well, we fixed that mistake. So let me just give me 1 second. All right, some people would consider this a tragedy. I consider it a minor mistake. So I just went into the bathroom, got a little toilet paper, because I'm not going to walk all the way into the other thing to get cotton round. And I'm just putting a little bit of micellar water on there. And I'm literally going to take it and wrap it around my finger like that. And I'm just going to gently here, and this mascara is waterproof mascara, so it has a little bit of oomph to it. I need to see close up because I can't really see well. Oh, okay, there we go. I almost have it all. And I'm just flicking, essentially, to get it off. There. Ta-da! All fixed. Let me look at the other side just to make sure. Ta-da! Now, since I did that, I need to put just a little bit of powder there because I kind of rubbed off that concealer. Let's see how that looks. Oh, yeah, that's good. So here we are with our natural look. And I've been forgetting. I haven't been forgetting. I've just forgotten to show it on the video that I always use Burt's Bees, right, on my lips. Today I feel like color, so I'm going to use Burt's Bees. And this is the hibiscus color. It looks like this. Sometimes I feel like if you have a natural look, then having a lip color balances things out a little bit. And the nice thing about Burt's Bees is you don't have to be like super precise, because it's it just goes on so smooth and wonderful. So we're going to put this on really quick. I'm going to roll it out. There we go. And I can do the, you see, I'm just like throwing it on there. Just like chapstick. And so now I have like a polished look that's not overly made up. Like yesterday I felt like I was seriously overly made. Yesterday's videos was just, they were just a hot mess. And that happens sometimes. And I think I was so nervous about the doctor yesterday that I just couldn't get my brain together. And now that I know some answers, I know what to do, and I'm fine. I'll be fine. And she was really happy that I am running and all that. So here we are. We're finished with all that. There's my hair down now. And here I am with my glasses. So you can see I just have a little bit more polished look. It's not too crazy. I kind of like that brow technique. I'm going to say, you know, if you want to do the whole thing, you can. But I think I'm going to try the different way tomorrow. And we'll see if I like that as well. Who knows? Maybe I try to look at other people's videos so that I can learn things. And sometimes you learn things that are good techniques, and sometimes you learn things that are not so great, but that's what learning is about. All right, so that's the video for today. Tomorrow I have maybe 2 new things that I'm going to do. I think for sure 1, but 2 things tomorrow that I'm going to show you a new and different kind of way. So we'll see what happens. All right, have a wonderful day. Spirit, body, mind. Those 3 areas, spirit, body, mind. Work on those every day, and you'll be a happier person. You'll be able to be happier in your life, and you'll be able to be kinder to other people. Be kind. Have a good day.